right. Thank you so much, Jim. And thank you, Karen, for all of the words and the story that you shared, clearly coming from your heart. And I think people that can speak from their heart and can speak to a lot of people have a special skill and a special place in this world, because speaking from your heart is something that's not easy for everyone. And I think for what I talk about is a lot about freelancing. And freelancing has to come from your heart, because when people buy something from a freelancer, they're really buying that freelancer, that brand, and that individual. And so to have the confidence to speak from your heart, I can say from personal experience, is not easy. I was in a nonprofit where I shared my story around the world for 6 years, and it took a lot of time. And so I so appreciate what the Speaker's Pathway does in helping people to find their voice, to find their story, and to really take advantage of the stage. So with that, I'm going to take advantage of this moment that you all have given, and I want to share some practical tips that you can use if you are thinking about or have started a freelance business and want to grow it. All of this comes from my life. It comes from my story as a freelancer. I've been freelancing for 15 years, and when I first started out, I would just do it to make extra spending money. And I kept that up as I worked with a nonprofit organization. We'd be overseas for 11 months, come back for 1, and I would spin up some kind of a freelance business in that time. And I was able to make enough money to live for the entire rest of the year off of what I did. And as I began to talk about my experiences, I found out that there are a lot of freelancers out there that want to do something like that. Maybe it's a stay-at-home mom who wants to start a side gig, or someone who wants to leave their 9-to-5 job. And I can tell you that freelancing is a great way to do that. It gives you freedom more than anything else in this world. So I want to help you with some practical tips to spin that up. So overall, the most important thing you want to do is to start with why. And this is something, it's a concept that has been explained really well by Simon Sinek. I highly recommend looking him up and learning a little bit more about what your why is and why it's important. But if you're going to start freelancing, you want to find a really crystal clear why. Say it's because you want to make more money, or you want a different lifestyle, or you want more freedom, you want to take vacation whenever, you want to spend more time with your kids and your family. There isn't a wrong answer to this, but it is the most important thing you'll do before you begin your life as a freelancer, is to really, really hone in on that why. Decide exactly why you want to do this, and then everything else you do will back it up. It'll help when you have to make business decisions, because as a freelancer, it all comes down to you, and the buck stops with you. Even as you scale and grow your team, it all starts with you, and knowing whether or not you want to do something should always tie back to your why. Because at the end of the day, people aren't going to buy what you do, they're going to buy why you do it. And more importantly, they're going to buy why it fits them. So the next thing you want to do after you've really figured out your why is go into your who. And when I say your who, I don't mean demographics. And this is something a lot of people get tripped up on, is they're like, oh, what age do I want to serve, or what gender, or what location? And while some of that may be important further down the line, if you're just getting started or you're having trouble scaling, I highly suggest that you start with the who, being who has the problem that you want to solve. Who are the types of people that you work really well with? Think about people you've helped in the past. Think about friends. Think about colleagues. Think about your family and the just general type of person that they are. Are they hustlers? Are they people that, like to do a lot of extroverted activities? Are they ones that own big houses? Think about other things besides the general demographics, and think about the problems that they face. And more importantly, think about the emotions that they're encountering right now as they're facing those problems. I think COVID is going to be a great time for all of us to build really successful businesses, because problems are abundant. And that's what freelancers do, is they solve them with agility and with skill and with clarity. So I think finding problems should be easy right now. And starting a freelance business should be something that you can absolutely do during this time of uncertainty. Think about all your friends. Are they having trouble with childcare? Is that something that you're skilled in? Think about, are they having trouble with, finances and budgeting? Is that something that you've mastered in your life? Think about the problems that you've solved in the past, and then decide the type of person that you think would appreciate you providing that solution to them. And that comes to the last one. The last thing you want to figure out is what. So why, who, and what. And what you offer is not a product, and it is not a service. It's not something that you can list out and say, it's this many hours, or it's this many websites, or this many images. When you're talking about the what, you're talking about the solution. And that is really what I'm most passionate about people bringing to this marketplace, because we have a lot of needs as a society. A lot of those needs go unmet, and it affects our overall quality of life. We have so many skilled individuals in the marketplace right now, but not all of them are able to bring their skills to bear because they haven't identified a problem and they're not confident in bringing that solution. And that is where I spend most of my time, is helping people really craft these solutions. I'm a problem solver at heart. It's something I've done from a very young age. I really enjoyed when I was younger and my friends would come to me with relationship advice or parent advice or whatever it needed to be, and finding a solution that not only got the job done, but really fit them, fit their lifestyle. So I consider myself a life-informed business coach, because I think if you're going to start a freelance business, it's really important that you do it from a place of freedom, and you also do it from a place of being informed of what you need. So you want to think about yourself. What do you really need in life? Not how much money do you want to make, but how much money do you need to live the life that you want? Not, what kind of hours do you want to spend at work, but how many hours do you need to spend with your family and need to spend pouring into those relationships to make sure that you can achieve fullness in this life, to make sure that you can see everything, that you can choose your happy now, that you can encounter the power of forgiveness and all the other things that so many people are ready to help you do. What do you need to do in your career path to make that a possibility? For me, when I was trying to figure out freelancing and how does this all work and trying to systemize some of the tactics that I had used to be successful, I asked a couple of questions. And these might be helpful for you if you're not quite sure, or you think, I think I could freelance, but I'm not exactly sure how to do it. So for me, I started by thinking about what kinds of conversations could I butt in on. And that might sound a little bit rude, but if you think about it, when we would sit at coffee shops and stuff, you're always overhearing conversations. And my freelance aha moment came when I was sitting at a coffee shop and I heard someone behind me discussing their upcoming marketing plan. Obviously, I overheard they had just started a landscaping business. They were very excited about it. And they had just joined up with a, apparently really famous marketer. And this marketer was going to set them up an advertising campaign on Tumblr. And unfortunately, as hard as I tried, I just couldn't stay quiet. I had to turn around and I said, oh my goodness, unless your market is, females in the 12-year-old range, I don't think Tumblr is going to be the best place to market your services. Have you considered Facebook or even getting on Craigslist for those types of leads? And this was revolutionary to them, but it was a conversation that wasn't directed at me and I couldn't help but put my 2 cents in. So think about yourself when you're at a coffee shop. What are the conversations that you overhear and you think, oh man, there's a better way? And even if you don't have the confidence or the right terminology to interject appropriately right now, that's something that can be built. But finding what those conversations are is really essential to finding your passion and your skill set so that you can build a business around what you're already good at. People say if you love what you do for work, you never go to work a day in your life. And I think that should be the life and the freedom and the path of a freelancer. You should love what you do. So think about things that you enjoy. Think about things that you're already good at. What do you spend time doing? And sometimes you can talk to like a resume expert or someone of that ilk to determine how to reframe what you already do. If you provide childcare, that could also be known as nurturing. If you are really good at keeping plants alive, that could be known as growth opportunities. But think about things that you're already good at and then decide a new way that they can be applied to your market space, all right? If you're a photographer, you're not providing photos, you're providing memories to the people that want to have that for a lifetime. So sometimes just changing your vocabulary to better represent what that fire and that passion is inside you will help you to make a better splash in the market. If you go into a market space just saying, oh, I'm really good at hanging up pictures on walls, people are going to say, that's great. I could probably find that on Google. But if you say, I can make sure that you have more time to spend with your family and that the memories that you've invested in can stay up on your wall and really make your house a home, that's a completely different way to present that. Another good question to ask if you're thinking about going into the market space is to think about people that have in the past really complimented you on your skills and your services, or have said the magic words, you should charge for this. For me, that happened when I was working with a friend of mine who was trying to negotiate a contract. And I said, hey, let's talk about it. I hear you're having some issues. And he said, yeah, I want to sit down with you. I just want to have a chat. We did. We talked for maybe 15 minutes and I gave him a couple pointers. We moved on with life. A couple weeks later, I'd completely forgotten about the interaction, but he came and he found me and he said, "Hey, Courtney, I just want you to know that that idea that you gave me actually made me $10,000. I said, "Oh, wow. I had no idea that my ideas could make that kind of an impact in someone's life and really quantifiable." And then I found another person and my idea helped him make 40,000. And pretty soon I had a lot of people that owed me a steak dinner. And so I decided that that was something that I should begin to charge for. So with all of that knowledge and those skills that I found in myself, instead of spinning up another business that would deliver a service, I decided to spin up a business where I could empower people with skills to build their own services. And that's when I started Sidecar Solutions. And I started this business because I wanted to be the person who comes alongside you, carries the extra baggage, and make sure that you, as a solopreneur, can really make a difference. So if you're interested, Sidecar Solutions is how it's spelled. Courtney is my name. You can check out my website, sidecarsolutions.co. I'm also on Facebook, and it's just me right now. It's me that you're going to be reaching out to, and it's me personally that you're going to book a call with. We can see if it might be a good fit for you to be able to receive some breakthrough and make sure that you can build a really amazing freelance business.